Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Triple Strand Ranch. This here is my office. I guess you could call it a man cave, whatever. I don't know what they call this stuff anymore. It's my office. So as you can see, I'm not a stereotypical farmer. I like a variety of things, video games, comic books, collecting, scary stuff, all kinds of stuff. So I'm a bit of a nerd too, I suppose, but not just with pop culture and entertainment. I can be a bit of a nerd with food items as well. Here we have Carolina Reapers, and these are considered, last I checked, to be the hottest pepper in the world. There's always like an arms race to try to establish the next hottest pepper in the world, because whoever creates that is going to make a lot of money. We saw it with the ghost pepper, and then a number of things. The scorpion was real popular for a while, and now the Reaper. The ghost pepper and the Reaper are arguably the two most successful commercialized super hot peppers on the market. Arguably, not an argument I'm interested in having. What I have found is once you get to the ghost pepper, beyond that, it's very similar. It's hard to tell the two apart unless you're able to side by side consume them. But when used, and I mean as a whole pepper, but when used as a condiment or an additive, it's really indistinguishable. Carolina Reaper, ghost pepper, which one sounds cooler? I don't know. Is the Reaper hotter than the ghost? Maybe. I don't know. But they're both really hot, and they both have really cool names. Now they are slightly different in that the Reaper has a tail. I know you can't see that. We'll get a zoom in here in a minute. It has a tail. The walls of the Reaper they seem slightly thicker than on the ghost pepper, but only slightly. Most of these super hots have a thin wall. And so the ghost pepper, when you see this Reaper, this with a stinger and the bumpy skin, a ghost pepper, if you took this stinger and you just pulled it and stretched the pepper out, you'd have a ghost pepper, right? These are cooler looking, I believe, than the ghost pepper, but whatever, right? What I know is that I don't eat these whole. I have eaten all the super hots whole in my younger days. Now I might again, just for fun here and there, and I like to do a spicy food challenge as much as the next guy, but generally speaking, I use them dried, whole, or in a powdered form. And I do this, the steps that I'm going to demonstrate here are the same steps I would take for cayenne peppers, jalapenos, any of these really, except for bell peppers and sweet peppers in general, but any of the spicier varieties above, from jalapeno and up, I would say. I've done it with banana pepper and I've done it with jalapeno, and that's really cool, and we'll get into that in another video when we're combining our spices. But it works for everything. It's very simple. The real key is to have a quality pepper. The pepper is the star, and it needs to be of the utmost quality and as ripe as possible. Now some of these aren't as ripe as I would like them. A little orange there, and that's okay. That's still gonna be really hot. It's gonna have good flavor. This is better. Fully dark, fully red, fully mature. But the more you pick, the more you get, right? So if I get one that's kind of in the middle of the transition to maturity, I'll take it off. And sometimes they fall off and whatever. But So we're gonna take these peppers here and we're gonna dehydrate them. And it's very simple with the dehydrator. I dehydrate a lot of things. I do vegetables, I do fruits, I do these peppers, obviously. I do deer jerky, I do all kinds of stuff. So we use a lot of these. So then you just put the lid on. This is the Nesco food dehydrator. There are better ones out there. Excuse me. There are better ones out there, but this one works fine. And we have 2 of them in lots of stacks. You might see Carl's holding one back there. So then you just turn it on. Fortunately though, I'm gonna do this later because it's too loud to do anything else while you're doing it. Let me set this over here for now. Pardon me. Now, what we're gonna do very carefully is we're going to use our coffee grinder to process some reapers. Now, now it's preferable to do this outside of your home if you have the option. So we're gonna take some of these, and I just wanna demonstrate. I don't wanna do all of these because I like to keep some whole on hand, but I wanna demonstrate to you the process. It's not complicated at all. But this is what I do. So if you come to the ranch or the market or wherever we are, store opens on October 22nd, come check us out. You'll find some of these seasoning concoctions and whatnot. So you may want some. You may want to try it and you may want to see where it comes from. You're not going to get this in the store, not like this, not this quality, and maybe not at all. I've never seen reaper powder in the store, you know. And a little goes a long way. That's a whole bunch of peppers right there. That is a number of peppers. It doesn't look like much, but that's a lot. You just tip the tip of a teaspoon in that and you can heat a whole pot of chili. So it's important to remember what you're working with. Oh, and I recommend you wear gloves. And if you're sensitive to it, when you do this, wear a mask, wear goggles, whatever you gotta do. Do it outside. This is, you know, I've been sprayed at FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy, the Department of Homeland Security, and got the OC spray twice in the eyeballs. It's very similar. You get this in your eyes, you're gonna be very upset for a long time. You get it on your hands and you're not careful when you go to the bathroom, you're gonna be very upset. Everybody in the house is gonna sneeze. Your animals are gonna sneeze if you have them. This is a nightmare. But it's also pretty neat. Let me see if I can get you in here with this other camera. All right. Now, I don't know if it's in focus or not. I hope so. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna just pulse it to start. And then we're gonna hold it for a while. Hopefully you heard me. You're gonna hold it for a while, make a good powder out of it. Now you don't have to make a powder out of it. You can make flakes, for example. That's better in a food processor, blender, or maybe even a mortar and pestle so it doesn't get too small. But in this case, we want powder. Bang on it a little bit. You see that? That's a good powder. Now, I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice. This is free advice. It's gonna save you a lot of trouble. I'm already getting it in my nose. It's already starting to affect me. If I take this lid off right now, it's gonna hurt. And really, I should demonstrate that though, shouldn't I? I'm not happy about it, but I'm gonna do it. Typically, I'll let this sit for a couple hours rather than try to do that. So, but in the name of science, woo, oh my goodness gracious. Woo. Isn't she pretty? Excuse me. Okay. Now, opening this is also a problem. Now what we got to do is get it in there. Hang on. Whew. All right. So we got some stuck. I done a batch a few days ago. Left it in there to settle. Doesn't hurt anything to do that. Crap. Now I've broken off the stem that I was using. Uh-oh. Well, I've done it now. Make sure you sanitize everything when you start. Now I've got it all over everywhere, and this is gonna be horrible. Let's lock her up and lock her up. And maybe we can minimize or mitigate some of the damage. Oh dear, that's gonna be horrible. Reaper powder. That's it. So if I were to do the rest of this jar, it might get us to here or so, maybe. Carolina Reaper. Whew, let me go wash my hands.